Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chanel. Today is Thursday, and honestly, I am running on fumes and way too much iced coffee, but we have to talk about what just happened. Thank you guys for always hanging out with me here and reading my messy thoughts. Let's just dive right into this madness because I am losing my mind over this week's episodes. So, let's just get right into it because my jaw is literally still on the floor. I mean, I knew things were going to get crazy when Valentine Cassadine gave Carly that massive warning. We all saw that coming, right? A few episodes ago, Nina passed that message from Jack Brennan over to Valentine. And Valentine told Carly they were in even bigger trouble than he originally thought regarding Jocelyn. And you guys know Carly, you just know her. You don't tell Carly Corinthos or Carly Spencer, whatever we are calling her this week, that her daughter is in mortal danger and expect her to just sit on her couch and wait for the PCPD to handle it. But honestly, I didn't expect her to go full action hero this fast. I really didn't. She didn't even wait for backup, she just bolted. And can we talk about Windermere for a second? Let's be real. The security on Spoon Island is a complete and utter joke at this point. First, we had Danny and Charlotte breaking in. Like it was a local playground, shocking the absolute life out of Jen Sidwell and Ava Jerome. And now Carly just walters right onto the property. Does nobody lock a gate on this island? But I digress. The point is Carly made it to the castle, and she was on a mission, a terrifying, frantic Mother Bear mission, and the packing of this whole sequence was just so incredibly stressful. The writers really wanted us to feel Carly's panic, and it worked. It really worked. She's sneaking through those dark, drafty stone hallways, and you can just feel her heart pounding out of her chest. I was sitting on my couch, literally yelling at the screen because we, the audience, already knew what was happening down in the sub. We knew Pascal was down there. So let's talk about Pascal. This guy has been an absolute menace since he put Jocelyn in that cell. We knew Cash's fake Nathan West, whatever, was kind of soft on his hostages sometimes. But Pascal is just cruel. He took over hostage babysitting duty and he was just relishing it, taunting Jocelyn, telling her she was helpless. And it all goes back to Marco Rios. Pascal is absolutely unhinged about getting revenge for Marco Rios being wiped off the map, which is wild because we all no, Ross Cullum is the one who actually killed Marco that night, but Pascal has it in his head that Jocelyn needs to pay the price. Or maybe he just wanted to hurt someone to send a message. Either way, he was completely out of control. But Jocelyn is a fighter. We have seen her try to get out of this mess. She moved that bed. She found the hidden message from Anna Dean. She even found those makeshift weapons Anna tucked away. She tried to ambush Cassius earlier. She is not a passive victim. But in this specific moment down in that creepy damp sub, Pascal had the upper hand. He was too strong, too angry, and he had a massive knife. And then we get to the scene that is going to be all over social media for the next month. Carly finally makes it down to the sub, but before she even gets into the room, she trips over a down guard. I don't even know how this guard got taken out. Maybe Jocelyn managed to hit him before Pascal cornered her. Maybe Sidwell's own men are turning on each. It was a slightly clunky detail. I won't lie. A little confusing, but whatever. The important thing is that the guard is unconscious on the floor and his gun is just sitting there lying on the cold stone floor. Carly picks it up. She doesn't even hesitate. Her hands are shaking, but her grip is solid and she steps into the doorway of that cell. What she sees is every mother's absolute worst nightmare. Pascal has Jocelyn pinned. He has this wicked-looking knife pressed right against Jocelyn's throat. Jocelyn is terrified. Tears streaming down her face, but she's still glaring at him because she's a Jax. She's a Corinthos. She doesn't break easily, but the blade is literally pressing into her skin. Pascal is ranting, completely manic, screaming about Marco Rios and how blood demands blood. He's literally seconds away from slicing her throat. He is completely lost in his own revenge fantasy. So Carly doesn't yell. She doesn't scream, drop the knife like cop would. She doesn't try to negotiate. She just raises the gun and fires. Bang, I literally screamed. I am not kidding. My cat jumped off my lap and ran into the kitchen. The sound of the gunshot echoing in that tiny stone basement was deafening. It was just a short, sharp punch of violence. Carly shot him right in the chest. No warning, no monologue. She just eliminated the threat to her child. And Pascal's reaction was insane. He didn't just drop instantly like they do in the movies. He kind of staggered. Back, dropping the knife, clutching his chest. The look of absolute shock on his smug face was something I will never forget. He looked at Carly, This blonde woman in a designer jacket, holding a massive gun, and he just couldn't process it. Joyne scrambled away, gasping for air, scrambling into the corner of the cell, covered in dust and shaking uncontrollably. But Pascal wasn't quite dead yet because this is a soap opera and nobody ever just dies quietly. They always have to get out one last cryptic, terrifying sentence. He falls to his knees, blood pooling on the floor. It was actually a really graphic scene for daytime. Maybe I'm being too sensitive, but it felt really dark. Carly is just standing there, the gun still raised, smoke literally curling out of the barrel. She's breathing so heavy, just staring at him. And Pascal looks up at her coughing and he smiles. A bloody, terrifying smile. "You think you won," he chokes out. "Sidwell, he has another one. Another assassin already moving. You're dead." And then he just collapses face first onto the stone. Dead. Okay, let's just pause here for a second and take a breath because my heart rate is still elevated just typing this all out. What were they thinking with this other assassin twist who actually believes this is going to end? Well, Jen Sidwell is like a hydra. You cut off one head and two more pop up. He has cases running around. He has Ross Cullum causing massive chaos. He had Pascal, and now he has some secret unnamed assassin who's already closing in. I am so tired of Sidwell's endless supply of goons. It's like, how many payrolls is this guy running? But at the same time, it raises the stakes so high because Carly just saved her daughter. But the nightmare isn't over. It's barely even starting. So now we have this incredibly tense, emotional aftermath in the cell. Carly drops the gun. It clatters on the floor. She runs to Jocelyn. The way they collapse into each other's arms. Honestly, give Laura Wright an Emmy right. Now, the raw emotion, the sobbing, the desperate checking to make sure Jocelyn wasn't cut. Carly just kept repeating, I got you, I got you. You're safe over and over again, like someone thinking out loud and not editing their thoughts. Just raw, unfiltered maternal relief. But the relief only lasted for about 30 seconds, because then reality set in. They're sitting in the basement of Windermere with a dead body, a man Carly just murdered. Yes, it was defense of a third party. Yes, it was completely justified. Any jury in the world would look at that knife and acquit her in 5 minutes. But this is Port Charles. Nothing is ever that simple. Carly looks at Pascal's body and you can practically see the gears turning in her head. She has a massive, life-altering choice to make right in this moment. And this is where the episode left us hanging, which is so cruel, by the way. The writers are torturing us. Option 1, she calls Dante. She calls the PCPD. She does this by the book. She claims self-defense. She explains that Jocelyn was kidnapped. But let's look at the bigger picture here. Dante is currently losing his absolute mind over Rocco running away with Britt West. We just saw Dante at the PCPD water cooler interrogating Joe Fitzpatrick about leads on his missing son. Dante is emotionally compromised. Plus, if Carly calls the cops, Joss has to go through a massive public trauma. The press will get it. Sidwell will know exactly where they are and that they are talking to the police. And remember what Pascal said, there is another assassin coming. If they are tied up in police red tape, they are sitting ducks. Carly knows this. She knows the system fails them constantly. Option 2, she calls Sonny. Oh, you guys, you know she wants to call Sonny. She calls her mob boss ex-husband and asks him to make the body disappear to vanish Pascal completely so Sidwell doesn't even know what happened to protect Jocelyn from the legal fallout in the media circus. But here is the massive, incredible irony of this entire situation. The writers actually did something brilliant here, and I have to give them credit. Sonny and Laura Collins have been spending the last few days plotting with Lucas Jones. They brought Lucas in, and Lucas offered his snooping services. Their entire master plan was to get Pascal to betray Jen Sidwell. They needed Pascal alive. Pascal was their leverage. He was their key to bringing Sidwell down from the inside and stopping the blackmail. And Carly just blew a hole right through his chest. She had no idea. Obviously, she was just saving her kid. But the fallout from this is going to be astronomical. If she calls Sonny to clean up the body, Sonny is going to walk into that basement and realize that his only solid lead against Sidwell is lying dead in a pool of blood. The look on Sonny's face is going to be priceless. Tragic, but priceless. And what about this other assassin? Who could it be? Is it Joe Fitzpatrick? Because let's be real, Joe is acting incredibly suspicious. Lucas gave him that tip about Marco Rios' murder, pointing him toward Pascal. And Joe just asked why Lucas was coming forward now. Joe has a hidden agenda. I can feel it in my bones. Is Joe the assassin or is it someone we haven't even seen yet? Honestly, I am so conflicted about what Carly should do. Part of me wants her to just call Dante and deal with the legal headache because covering up a murder always backfires on this show. Always. But another part of me, the part that loves the messy, dark drama of this show, wants her to call Sunny. I want to see the mob cleanup crew roll into Windmere. I want to see Ava Jerome's reaction when she finds out someone was murdered in her sub-basement while she was out investigating art galleries in Manhattan with Alexis. Ava is going to flip. She's currently in New York picking up shady vibes from that gallery owner Apollo, trying to figure out Delilah Wilson's tattoo and Ethan Love's past. She has no idea her castle is currently a crime scene. Again, seriously, the property. Value of Windeer has to be in the negatives at this point. And let's not forget about Jack Brennan in all of this. Nina is currently playing nurse, trying to figure out a way to break Brennan out of Turning Woods. So, Ross Cullum stops doozing him with the paralytic. Brennan is the one who sent the warning to Valentine in the first place. If Carly covers up this murder, she's going to need Brennan's help more than ever to deal with Sidwell's backup assassin. Nam made her loyalty to Willow clear, but she is getting dragged so deep into this spy game. It's just a massive web, and Carly just cut one of the main strings by killing Pascal. I keep replaying the scene in my head. The way Carly didn't even blink. It reminds me of the old Carly, the fiercely protective, slightly unhinged Carly, who would burn the entire town down to keep her children safe. We haven't seen this raw, violent side of her in a while. She's been so wrapped up in the hotel drama and the crimson stuff.